I have to move the camera so that doesn't happen again. All right. Good morning, everybody. I try to adjust the camera here. I swear, do I have a filter on? My face looks pink. Hello, my authentic friend. My synthetically authentic friend. I love your paradoxical names. Welcome, 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 guys. It is a lovely Thursday morning, and we are going to be doing our meditation outside today. So, settle in. We'll give everybody a minute to wander over here. Have you been practicing your mudra this week? Were you here earlier this week? Hello, Blue Cube. Good morning. Good morning. Have you been practicing your mudra? Have you been becoming one with the turtle? Have you been needing the extra patience from your mudra this week? I sure as fuck have. You know, it's funny to me, like, I don't put a lot of forethought into the order of the mudras that I do. There are so many mudras. I kind of just intuitively try to pick out the mudra each week. And it's so funny because after I pick the mudra, almost every single time I find like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful I picked that one because that's exactly what I needed. It's usually like, you know, by midweek, right? Then I'm like, where's that patience? Where's that patience? Stumbling on second series Ashtanga, but you're 53. It's good to go slow. You know, that's the thing about yoga, and the thing that really deepened my practice was letting go of yoga as a form of calisthenics and understanding yoga from the Vedic science perspective of philosophy, of a scientific foundation for life, and for healing the body and for caring for the body. And it's such a profound difference. And you find, and for me, that's where I found my practice, is not going to yoga classes that somebody else puts together and teaches because that's the poses they want to do. But by sitting on my mat and doing no more than like 3 poses for 2 hours, you know, really getting into the practice, really moving through the different parts of the practice and just exploring them. And yeah, there is a time and a place for traditional asanas and traditional flows. You know, hatha and whatnot have like traditional flows, or sun salutations or things. Like, there are definitely value to those things. Sun salutation is one of the most simple yet profound practices in yoga, right? When we can discover our physical and emotional, or energetic and physical alignment based on just doing the sun salutation. We can diagnose different things and whatnot. Anyway. In other words, seeing the forest for the trees, yeah. Da 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 da. Yes, letting go is key. One way is took all the mats away in the practice room, and yeah. Nice. Your monkey mind was forced to release the mind around all the micro movements. Nice. Our mind monkeys are so like. I think of them, how diligent they are. They are so diligent. They're trying so hard to do what's best for us, whether that be keep us safe or remember shit or remind us to not forget about something, you know. But they're the crew, not the captain, you know. And I think we lose ourselves when we allow our monkey mind to take the reins, to take the wheel, and to start driving our ship and driving our mouth and driving our behavior. Thank you again, Blue Cube. Driving our choices. And I know you guys, for those of you who hang out a lot, you guys hear me talk a lot about weaponizing, how we can have emotions, we can have things in life that throw us off. We can have our monkey mind screaming up in our head. But the big thing about, I think, personal responsibility is being accountable for what those mind monkeys make you do, right? It's really hard. I was telling my son the other day, there's this thing about physics in this universe, is you can't unbreak something, right? A glass falls and the wine spills and the glass shatters and the cup shatters. You can't undo that. You can clean it up, you can glue the glass back together, but the universe doesn't work in that direction. And I think that that's really profound when we look at that, especially in the ways of our like behavior and our choices and our words. There are things we just cannot undo. Just things we cannot undo. And to have the forethought, we don't always have the forethought to not make those decisions that we later regret. And it's so unfortunate. And it's so difficult to watch when our loved ones are doing it. Difficult to acknowledge when we're the ones doing it, right? So, thank you again, Blue Cube. So for this week, because it is a holiday week for a lot of us, and a lot of us are facing those situations where our mind monkeys are maybe a little extra defensive, or a little extra, just a little extra shit. So, when we are facing those things right now, I really appreciate this mudra for that, because this mudra asks us to pause, take stock, evaluate our situation, the available opportunities, the available options to us, and make a discernment. Discern. Is this for me or is it not for me? Is this going to lead me in the direction I want to go or is it not? And, if you choose to go in the direction that you don't ultimately want to go, like if you're like, I'm going to choose to just be a dick because you know what? I'm just feeling it today, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, do it, but own it. But own it and acknowledge that that was still your choice and that it's nobody else's fault. No one can force you to do something, right? Just like you are your own guru. You can have a guru. You can have teachers. You can have tools and support systems to help you do things and help you make changes and help you get up earlier and get on your mat more and meditate better, do all these things. But ultimately, if you don't follow through, no one can actually force you to do it. Besides like picking you up and physically forcing your body, but then we don't, then we just create battles and wars and whatnot and whatever. So in that same regard, you can't on the one side of the coin say, I am my own guru. Ultimately, I make the good decisions for myself. And then say, I am totally a victim of the way other people behave and what they say and what they do, and they made me do something. I'm my own spiritual guru, but I am totally a victim of somebody else's choices. It's paradoxical, right? Right, my paradoxical friends? Okay, so, hello everybody. It's after 9 o'clock, so we might as well make it official. My name is Deborah. I am, my name is Deborah, and this is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Devotion to self-care. Because when life gets lifey, sometimes we forget about our self-care. And it can be one of the first things that we drop when things get a little bit crazy. So I invite you to join me during these sessions. Thank you again, Blue Cube, so much. I invite you to join me during these sessions. We will practice a tool, sit with that tool in meditation so you can really dive deeply into these tools, and then you can take that tool with you, put it in your pocket, and use it later on. So we go live Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Rain, shine, holiday, or no. We're not usually outside if it's raining, but maybe one of these days we'll come out here and just dumping rain, do a mudra in the dumping rain. Why not? Hey, Jersey Moon, good morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome in. We're just getting started. So if you were here on Tuesday, you saw our mudra for the week. It is called the Kurma Mudra, Kurma, and it is, Kurma translates to turtle or tortoise. And this mudra is the mudra for patience. Again, I thought it was really apropos for this week, so I hope it's serving you well. But not just patience in the way that patience assists us in dealing with difficult moments, but patience for all of life. Patience for internal and external happenings. Patience like the way that the tortoise breathes so slowly and lives such a long life. I wonder if you sped a turtle up, if it would have a shorter lifespan. I was having this thought because my mind monkeys. Because my morning, Ryan. Because my mind monkeys. I was having this thought yesterday while I was practicing this mudra, cultivating patience for a difficult situation, and I thought to myself, what would happen? What would happen if somehow you got a tortoise, a turtle, to start breathing more and breathing faster? Would they consistently, would they not live as long, right? I did. Funny side note, and then we will do meditation, I promise. A friend of mine over in the Netherlands, when I was living in the Netherlands, this beautiful Leo of a Dutch man said to me once, he said, I'm terrible at his accent, so I'm not going to try to fake an accent. But he says to me, he goes, do you want to know how you become as beautiful and magnificent as me? You know, he is in his 50s. He's got this beautiful Leo head of hair. He's good person, just very proud of himself. Do you want to know how to become as beautiful as me and live as long as me? I said, yes, tell me. He goes, he tells me to stop breathing and stop eating. He goes, well, only when you have to. For both of those. It was reduce my breathing, reduce my eating, and increase my laughter. That was his medicine. And I'm telling you, this man was in his 50s, but he looked like he was still in his late 20s. Like maybe almost 30. And I laughed so hard at him at the time, you know. I was still early in my practices. But in sitting through meditation more, in sitting with the breath more, in practicing these tools and really slipping into my mindfulness, mindful breathing, mindful eating, mindful speaking, mindful moving, I think he had a point. Hey, Emma, good morning. Woo! Guys, I think I should have brought a coat. Okay, but let's do this. Let's sit here in a mudra and be like Godfried. His name is Godfried. Let's be like Godfried this morning. Let's be like the tortoise this morning. And let's breathe a little more slowly. Let's quiet down our mind monkeys. Move a little more slowly just for a few minutes. Okay? So, come join me if you'd like to slow down. And be like Godfried. Me too, Cal. I like turtles. And turtles are also wise enough to know when to go within and when to protect themselves, right? They're happy to expose their little soft turtle-y bits when they're going about their life, but at the first sign of danger, they are very good at boundaries, like super good at boundaries. Man, I need some turtle shell. So let's sit with this mudra. Let's see if we can call in a little bit of that energy of the tortoise. I love this particular mudra because it also associates us with the medicine of that particular animal. So it's just going to be a simple meditation today. Again, I really want to sit with the energy of this mudra. So to do the Kurma mudra, take your left hand, palm facing up, right about your belly or so. Drop the middle two fingers. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. I just lost my mudra. There it is. I found it. I did it yesterday. No, not right now. Okay. So drop the pinky, the middle, and the ring finger. I counted my fingers wrong. The pinky, ring, and the middle finger down into your palm, leaving only your pointer and your thumb extended. And then drop the middle two fingers on your other hand, making the little I love you symbol, and place this down on your left hand. So you're going to connect your pinky to your pointer here, your pointer to your thumb, and your thumb to the base of your palm here. I know this is a fun mudra. This really gets us twisted. But you want to make sure that those fingers, so you place those fingers on top of each other and then connect the folded fingers on top, connect your pinky to your pointer, pointer to your thumb, thumb to the base of your hand. And this, my friends, is your tortoise mudra, is your Kurma mudra. So go ahead and find yourself a comfortable seated position if you have not already. If you're driving your car, please don't close your eyes. If you are operating heavy machinery, please don't take your hands off the wheel. Go ahead and you can still join us. You can still listen in. We're still going to breathe a little bit, and then you can take this mudra up when it's safe to do so. Thank you very much. Go ahead and either hold this mudra right about at your belly button, or you can rest it in your lap. It gets a little bit difficult to hold at your heart, but feel free to kind of move this mudra up and down the central channel and feel what, and hold it where it feels appropriate to hold. Ooh, brisk. Okay. All right. Go ahead and close your eyes if it is safe to do so. And then we will begin our meditation as we always do with 3 big deep breaths to fully arrive here for our practice. Begin by sealing the lips, inhaling through the nose, pulling the breath down through the lungs and into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. Let it go. Once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Take that big inhale. And let it go with a sigh. And we're just going to follow the breath. Remember that the most important part about meditation is your intention and your attention. So right now, let's just set the intention to follow the breath. Follow the inhale all the way to the top and the exhale all the way to the bottom. And every time your mind gets distracted or your body has sensations or needs wiggles or there's something outside of you that wants to pull your attention away or inside of you that wants to pull your attention away, simply return your attention to the breath. This practice of returning our attention to our breath over and over and over again, gently with love and compassion, assists us in cultivating the habit of returning to silence. Just long, slow, steady breaths. Inhaling all the way to the top and exhaling all the way to the bottom. As you inhale, feel the expansive space that the breath creates as it comes into your body. And as you exhale, feel your muscles, feel the way your muscles, tendons, everything just relaxes in your body. Inhale to make a little more space. And exhale, allowing your muscles to soften. Again, if thoughts arise or distractions arise in the mind, body, or your environment, simply bring your attention back to the breath. A simple, powerful practice. As we cultivate the patience to breathe like turtle, to live like turtle. To move like turtle deliberately through life. Turtle teaches us that sometimes it's also okay just to go into your shell and wait for the storm to pass. To do that, we cultivate patience. That way we don't stick our head out of our shell in the middle of a tornado. Patience to wait out the changing winds. Patience to continue on our path, no matter what life brings. No matter the twists and turns, ups and downs. Steady, patient, yet persistent. Inhaling all the way to the top, nice and slow. Exhaling all the way to the bottom. Notice the quality of your breath now. Notice that your breath may be slow and steady, slower than it was when we began. Your breath may also be almost non-existent. It's almost as if the breath has kind of gone away. As if you're breathing, but you're not quite breathing. We change the quality of our body and our minds when we change the quality of our breath. Turtle knows this. Kurma knows this. Notice, after sitting with the breath and the mudra, there's a little more space in body and mind, a little extra wiggle room, a little less pressure. I encourage you to sit with this meditation as long as you would like. And when you feel complete, I invite you to bring your hands together in prayer or to simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice. In gratitude for these tools, these powerful mudras that affect our energy bodies, that allow us to tune, balance, and heal. Not just our physical body, but our emotional, energetic, mental bodies, spiritual bodies. And offer yourself a little gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. Today is the day of thanking, gratitude. The day of gratitude. Every day should be the day of gratitude. So offer yourself a little more gratitude today, and I hope you offer yourself a little more gratitude tomorrow too. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As you come out of meditation, please do so slowly. Offer yourself some wiggles, some stretches, and open your eyes only when you're ready, because it means meditation is over. Hey. Thank you, Nikki. Core of Corey, hey. Hi, guys. Thank you. Love to you guys. Grateful to you too, Corey. Brisk, guys. It's brisk out here. So, again, that was the Kurma meditation. I mean, mudra. And is done by placing your left palm upright, dropping the last 3 fingers, your middle ring and pinky, down to your palm, leaving your pointer and thumb extended. And then with your right hand, you make the little I love you symbol, dropping those 2 middle fingers. And then you place your folded fingers over top of each other, connect your pinky to your pointer to your thumb, and your thumb to the base of your palm here, creating a little turtle inside of its shell. It's called the Kurma Mudra, and this is the mudra for patience. I know that patience is something that it's good to cultivate in general, but sometimes we need a little bit extra. So, extra. Patience. Patience and perseverance. Thank you, Corey. Thank you. Yeah, I really like that one. Like I was saying, I like it because it also invites the energy, like the medicine of turtle in as well, and we get to kind of cultivate that, kind of make that connection, cultivate that connection. And there's so many lessons in turtle, right? The slowed breath, the mindful movement, the mindful eating, the slow and steady, yet steady perseverance, right? The follow through, the commitment to maintaining your path and not getting distracted, I guess. Not Nikki with the llama! That scared the cats. I scared the cats. Oh, thank you, Nikki. I love those. Thank you, guys. Yeah, there's so much to learn from Turtle, and Turtle teaches us about something that I personally am working through right now too, is with boundaries. I was talking to a very good friend yesterday about, he was talking about part of himself that he realized that he hadn't really let out. He'd been kind of, quote, keeping that part of himself in timeout, right? And he's cultivating a relationship with that part of himself and negotiating with that part of himself and learning about that part of himself and developing a relationship with that part of himself. And I said to him in response, I said, I think one of the most important things that I'm looking at right now is that it's not that I have hidden this part of me away, it's that I haven't protected a particular part of me. I have allowed that part of me to stand naked in the storm of life and just take whatever life throws at her. And Turtle teaches us about boundaries. Boundaries don't need to be a battle. And it is okay. It is okay to have the boundaries that you set. It is okay to let people know what those boundaries are. And it is okay to make those boundaries a non-negotiable. I know it's so hard because culturally we're taught here in the West, well, I don't know, we're taught a lot of things in the West, I can't even say that. Culturally, some of us are taught saying no or setting up boundaries is either mean or at the very least it's ridiculous or it's selfish or it's, if you just lighten up and not hold a boundary and just taking things too seriously. It's so interesting the way that people try to get around boundaries, go under, over, around the side, through it with a sledgehammer, dig holes underneath, send kites over top, and you're like, yo, I set a boundary. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a challenge. A boundary is not a challenge. And people that we want to keep in our lives don't see boundaries as challenges. They see them as your temple. Yeah, Core of Corey, it's an act of love. It's an act of love to set boundaries, both for ourselves and for other people, right? Because when we don't hold each other accountable, that's my thing with boundaries, is that boundaries hold us all accountable. And boundaries make someone's capacity for respect and cooperation very apparent. Hey, Mia! How many days, Mia? How many days? Tell me. It's more than a month now, right? Hey, Jonathan. Good morning. Just sitting out here doing the Kurma Mudra. Talking about the energy of tortoise, of the, turtle medicine, about boundaries and about creating a safe space for yourself. You have every right to create a safe space for yourself, and you have every right to discern who is allowed in that space and who is not. And if someone comes in that space and starts to throw shit around and like make a mess of it, you have every right to protect your space, to take care of your space, to set a boundary and say, this is not allowed in my space. What is it? The same water. What is it? The same water that softens the noodle, boils the egg. I don't think that's it, but now I'm going to make it the noodle. Softens the noodle, boils the egg, right? So what boundary is good for me and important for me may not be the same one that's good and important for you, but when we care about each other, when we respect each other, when we want to take care of each other and cultivate healing, safe relationships with each other, we respect what each other's boundaries are, even if we don't agree with them. Mia, I'm so glad you made it through the other side of that, friend. Yeah. And it's funny because in my life, in like learning to set boundaries, and struggling with setting boundaries, there were many times where I just like cut the cord and walked away and burnt a bridge when I could have maybe just had a better conversation about it, right? Sure, we've all done that. But just because of my, the programming I received when I was growing up, boundaries are not, you're a bitch if you hold boundaries. You're just taking shit personally and too sensitive if you hold people accountable for the way that they treat you or say things or do things, That's what I always grew up with. Oh, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Why are you complaining? Somebody always has it worse than you. And it does such an interesting thing to our unconscious self-worth. To believe that we are less valuable than someone else, and to allow people to treat us as if we are less valuable than they are. But that's something that my brain's wired a little differently. I don't understand. I do know why, actually, Hey, Dave. Hey. Yeah, see, Corey, right? It's like, and that's about managing our reactions, right? Because that 0 to 100 is a reaction, right? So when we got those boundaries, when we've got those boundaries pressed, do we want to react based on past experiences that were poor? That maybe we burnt a bridge that we didn't need to, right? Do we want to do that again? Not always. Sometimes it's what you fucking need to do. Sometimes it's just the only option available, and that's okay. Let's do that. But at least for me, I find that it's important to take those slow tortoise steps toward that, and before, with the matches, like walk towards the bridge of like, so we need to either clean up this house or I'm gonna burn the bridge down. Okay? And this is what I feel like I do in my life now, where I'm like taking steps slower and slower towards the bridge, where I'm like, I've got the matches, here is my boundaries. Y'all need to get out of my temple with this fucking chaos and start respecting my space, or I'm gonna have to burn the bridge. I really don't want to burn the bridge. Can we get through this without burning the bridge? Fuck, you guys are still just, okay, well. Dave, blink if I need help. That one's really bossy too. That one's really bossy. He's like insistent on pets. He'll come and like, headbutt you for the pets. And obviously you saw climb all over you and whatnot. So we discern. Yeah, you know what? There are moments where it's okay to let that part of you come out that says, fuck it, we're burning it down. And there's times where we need to temper that, that it's not the time for your arsonist to come out, but it's the time for your hostage negotiator to come out, but as somebody who is fawned so much of my life and said, oh, I understand, oh, I get it, I get why you're treating me like that, I get why you're making those decisions that are rash and, detrimental to our relationship or whatever else, giving people the benefit of the doubt. Giving people the benefit of the doubt to my detriment, to your detriment, is not. There needs to be a boundary in there somewhere. It's just like taking care of other people to your detriment. There needs to be a boundary in there somewhere. Cosmic frequency. There's always better out there, so don't limit yourself. That is so close to the grass is always greener on the other side. But the truth is, I heard somebody say this recently. The truth is that if I keep moving toward the perfect green, beautiful pastures in the woods that I really, really want, the grass is actually greener out there. When I am taking that walk through my life on my path, looking for my green pasture, there is a place where the grass is greener, and I am getting my way there. And every time I discern what's for me and what's not for me, I get myself one step closer to that good old green pasture out in the good old green pasture out in the sky. Wait, that's where the dogs go. Hold on a minute. Dave Bone. Your thing is you just keep it at 100 all the time. That way people know it's for real. That's exhausting, my friend. That's exhausting. Also, if I don't like the energy, I can remove myself. I do it. Yeah. And being okay to do that. And that's something that that's what I'm saying. It's something that I'm learning. I'm learning how to. And the thing is too, is like, even just using your voice to say, I'm not okay with this, can feel awkward when you're not used to saying, I'm not okay with this. And asking for accountability can feel selfish and feel rude and feel like you're being a bitch. Especially when they turn around and they go, fucking, you're so selfish, you're so whatever. And I'm like, no, I literally just asked for like basic level of respect and decency. That is how we need to treat each other, with a basic level of respect and decency. And when that doesn't happen, we all have every right to say, hey, that's not a basic level that I'm willing to tolerate. So let's level up. Let's level up, right? Or I have to close the doors. For so many years, as a person who, likes to take care of people, I need to move back into the sun. As a person who likes to take care of people and give and, share and all these other things, setting those boundaries and saying no has been really hard. I liken it to, my dog found a water bottle. I apologize for the annoying sound that's about to happen for I don't know how long. For many years, I liken it to having a temple, right? My body, my energy space, my personal space is the temple that houses my soul, right? Is the temple that houses my spirit. And those of us who give, a lot of times we open our doors to our temple and allow people to come in. We offer them warmth and comfort. We offer them safe harbor. We offer them refuge. We offer them space and, and take care of them. And that is all well and good. I think that as humans, it's an imperative part of who we are and how we take care of each other, right? Is that we invite people into our temple, into our private space, and we hold space for them. We literally have language for it. And at the same time, if you go out there to temple and you walk into somebody's temple and you start throwing shit and you start saying nasty stuff and you start writing on the walls, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's going to usher you out of the temple, because that is not how you behave in temple. And this analogy, just 2 years ago, or last year, or whatever, this analogy hit home, and I was like, I have been letting people throw fucking ragers in my temple. Thank you, Corey. Hey, Jason. I have been letting people come in, take what they want from my temple, and leave without caring for it, without helping me repair it. And then worse, they walk out of my temple and then they turn around and they go, fuck you, your temple sucks. And they take what they want and then cuss my temple out and then leave. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Why am I? Because for so many years I said, why are you treating me like that? Why are they treating me like that? Why are these people allowing this to happen? And I go, this is my temple. These are my doors. You guys remember the little thing? Wait, what's the thing? Here is the church. Here is the steeple. Open the doors. Here are the people. Shut the doors and hear them pray. Open the doors and they all walk away. Oh, church days. But that's my temple, right? That's my temple. And within my temple, I house all the different aspects of myself. And I need to protect and to keep them safe, first and foremost. And when I have protected them and kept them safe and told them wonderful, sweet things and loved them so they feel safe and heard, then I've got my entire crew. Then I've got all of this backup. I've got all of these parts of myself feeling good and healthy and well. A whole clergy, right? A whole, I don't know, what do you call a herd of monks? No. So that when I invite someone into the temple, I have so much more resources to offer. So much more genuine help and support and love. The quality of what I can offer people is so much more when I first offer that to myself. It's retail, cosmic frequency. You got a hot topic in there? Guys, if you have not heard me talk about it before, internal family systems is a psychology theory that is a really powerful practice. It's something that I have used for many, many, many years, and it assists me moving from diagnoses in mental health to a place where I'm where I'm healthy and I'm grounded and I'm clear and yeah. So. If you guys are interested in working with me, you can find me over at Move with Change. If you subscribe here, you support the work that I do, and I really, really appreciate that. This is my full-time job right now, trying to, share meditation and mindfulness with the world and just show up for people in the ways that I can and to learn and grow together. Because I could be doing this in a hut in the mountains by myself and not sharing anything. But I get to grow and learn too. I get to learn from you guys. I get to learn about myself in the way that I show up, in the way that I'm consistent or not, in the way that I can be authentic or not. That's a lot of what this is my personal growth, my personal experiment. And, if we all benefit from it, then even better, right? Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jonathan. I do offer coaching right now. I offer energy work, guided meditations, private yoga sessions, that kind of stuff. If you guys, like I said, move with change, if you guys are interested in working with me, or you can just send me a message and ask me questions if you want to and chat with me there. If it turns out you need coaching, we'll move on from there too. So, no matter what you're doing today, I invite you to bring Turtle with you. No matter what you're doing today, I invite you to remember that you have every right to cultivate the sacred space that is already within you. This is your temple, not a retail store, not a broken down shack in the middle of nowhere, not a tent on the sidewalk. I don't care what anybody else has told you, how much you or others have vandalized your temple. It is still a temple. And you deserve reverence. Hey Mel. Bhakti, we're talking devotion. We're talking devotion to self-care, as always. We're talking devotion to self-care first, to discernment in regard to what is for us and what is not for us in the moment. And if we discern that something's not for us, being okay with setting a boundary and just walking away from it. We don't have to burn a bridge and, set everything on fire. We don't have to create chaos. We can if there's something in that, you feel like it. I'm not going to try it on anybody. Again, it's like we all make our choices, and people want to say that there's bad choices and good choices, that there's bad karma and good karma, that there's, but in reality, it's just all a different journey. It's the journey you choose. I've always said I'm really impressed by the people who choose suffering, because it's so much work to maintain suffering. Little hand, we can't heal others while we ourselves are still sick. I would say that we can. Actually, I think that one of the most powerful things that we do for each other as a collective is that where I'm at, there's always somebody right next to me, right behind me, a little bit lower, who just needs a hand up, or a little bit further upstream or downstream that just needs a hand. And in that way, we can heal each other, because we're not isolated, solitary creatures. We're pack animals. We have a collective consciousness. You know what I mean? Like we are intricately, intimately connected, energetically, physically, emotionally, cognitive, mentally. We're pack animals. We're not isolated. We're not islands unto ourselves. And in fact, being so makes us sick. We are so much healthier when we are connected to each other and supporting each other. And where I am on my path, there are still lessons and gifts that I can offer to people who are at a different place on their path. So that's something I had to face too, because for a long time I thought I had nothing of value to give anybody because I was still healing. And then I realized that healing is a lifelong journey, and if I was ever going to share anything, what I needed to share was what I was doing and where I was at and the things that I had learned and the things that have value to me. There is something that you have of value to yourself that could potentially be of value to someone else. Really, Mel? Your time at the ashram was very hard. Lots of criticism and pushing to deny my self-care. There are so many paths in life, right? And so many people saying, my path is the only path. My path is the best path. If you go my path, then you'll get there. And only if you go my path. If you go other people's paths, if you go the other way, that way, your own way, no. You're not going to get there. I know better than you. I know what's right for you. No. To that, I say, again, you are your own guru, because even when you have a guru, even when you have a teacher, it is still you who takes that step. It is still you who refocuses your attention in meditation. It is still you who makes the decision to practice self-care or not. And yes, we can be in situations where people can physically force us or, emotionally wear us down. Like, there are situations where we can absolutely fall prey to force. But ultimately, you are the one who has to decide to open your eyes in the morning and get out of bed. You are the one who has to decide to take the steps that are right for you. And nobody else has those answers. Because even when somebody else gives you the most profound answers in the world, if they don't resonate within you, you're not going to hear them. How many times have we been told the same thing over and over again, only to years later get it, and be like, oh my God, my friend has been saying this. My mom has been saying this for years. How did I not see that? Because there wasn't the space within you for it to take root. Because some of those seeds need to be, sunflower seeds, you can throw them on the ground and they'll burst into sunflowers next summer, right? But other bulbs, other trees, cherry trees, you can't just toss them on the ground. You gotta put them in the freezer for a couple of weeks, and then you gotta bring them back out, and you gotta warm them back up, and then you gotta put them in the thing, and then you gotta there's different ways to cultivate different things in our lives. And if we want to cultivate things that take more time and care and attention, we have to be able to give ourselves that time and care and attention. And if we don't have the soil ready for those kinds of things to grow, if our soil is still really acidic or it's just a swamp in there, there's a whole analogy for it. The analogies just go on and on and on. Like I said, guys, I'm a storyteller. I write stories. I also do coaching. I also do dream journeying. Dream journeying is a practice of going into your... I was talking to a friend of mine and telling it recently, it's basically a waking astral projection practice where you go into other realms of your consciousness, project yourself into them, and talk to different parts of yourself, heal different parts of yourself, work through different parts of yourself, and also create a internal map of your temple, of your inner space. Oh, Mel, I love you so much. And experiences like that can knock us off our path. I've had teachers, gurus out there who say that if I don't do it their way, then I'm not doing it right. My favorite was a teacher who would say, yogis don't do this, and yogis don't do that, and yogis don't do this, and yogis don't do that. And I love the Vedic sciences, right? There's so much profound wisdom in them, and they've been around for so long, and there's all these, and so study them if you haven't looked into them. They're really interesting information. But I love the Vedic sciences, and also, if everyone walked the same path, I don't know, my brain just was like, we would create a ravine in the earth. Because we'd all be walking the same path and it would just get deeper and deeper and deeper. Life has the impetus to grow and expand. Our brains have the impetus to seek novelty. We are not meant to drone on in singularity. The nature of love is creation and expansion. Mel, I find it so hard to compartmentalize that kind of double standard or gaslighting, these things where people are like, oh, it was okay for me, but it's not okay for you. I can give you hell, but it's fine for me to behave like this, or what yeah. And it's it's really easy to get discouraged. Like I said, that teacher, that yogis don't do this, yogis don't do that teacher, had me feeling really discouraged and had me feeling like I had no message to share. Like I had nothing, no wisdom to share, no experience at all to share, because I wasn't doing what he said yogis do. I wasn't being a yogi like he said yogis do. And so I devalued myself. So I put away in a box the things I wanted to share with the world. See, again, in my head, I was like that. I just saw like a box of toys. I like put all my toys away in a corner and was like, I guess we can't play Legos because yogis don't play Legos. Hey, what's up, Eric? My little coffee troll. Ryan, this one's forceful with his love. He doesn't take no for an answer. He actually scratched my neck last night. I don't know if there's a thing on there, because he was trying to climb up me, and I was like, get off me, no, no. And he was like climbing up me while I was standing. Yes, Mel, right? This is my big, and you know what I learned from that? Walking away from that teacher and realizing that the teacher was causing me to, crumble inward, like go inward and not to be authentic and to hide my authenticity. That was when I've always loved play all of my life, but that's when I really said, I need to let myself play with this, right? Life is meant to be a play, a grand play. And the wisdom of children in the way that they process their emotions and they process events, and they don't compartmentalize things at all. They let things move through them, and they do it with play. They do it by expressing their emotions and by moving their body and saying what they need to say, what's in their heart. I was saying a couple weeks ago that children are so magnificent because when you witness a 2-year-old, you know that child, that human, has zero doubt that they are the God particle, that they are masters of their fucking universe and nobody can control their universe, right? For those of you who know little kids at that stage, right? They're so certain of it. They know it in every fiber of their being. And I think one of the saddest things that we do is then we teach our children that they're not divine, that they're isolated and separated and on their own and broken for playing or wrong for expressing themselves. Yeah, there's boundaries we need to do, and there's things we need to learn with our kids and whatnot, things we teach them, yes, but one of my favorite poems is a poem by Khalil Gibran, and it's the poem is called On Children, I think, or maybe On Parenting, On Children, I think. And he says that the parent is the bow and the child is the arrow, because it is the nature of the parent to bend as far as they can to propel the child forward, because that is the direction that time moves. Time does not move backwards, right? We were talking earlier about the breaking something. You can't unbreak it. Time does not move backwards. Time moves forwards. We bend to propel our children as far forward past us as we possibly can. And in the process, we might regress, right? To bend that way, to pull back that way, means to fall into so much of our past and our, family inherited whatnots. But we do that so we can process and propel our children forward. And then he goes on to say that, if anything, we should never strive to make our children in our image. If anything, we should hope to be like them. Mel, having a hula hoop really, really helps me. I recently got into wearing onesies, so I bought myself a bunch of really silly onesies, and I dance on the porch most nights to bring some play in, to process emotions, to move energy, and my body feels, when I don't dance at night, I can feel it in my body. Because stuff gets stuck. We don't think about it in the Western cognitive-centered, brain-centered world, but, things that happen in our day, not just things that happen when we were children that are stuck in our body, but things that happen throughout our day have impacts on our energy body and our physical body. If you watch a deer out in the wild who's just been chased, what does that deer do? The deer when the deer finally stops being chased, the deer stops and shakes, shivers, all that adrenaline away, right? And that's what ecstatic dance is all about. That's why I do ecstatic dance. Oh, that would be amazing. Ala Chua? Where's that, my friend? Mel, where are you? Hi, Billy. Children are such good examples, and a big thing that I suggest often when I do coaching too is that when somebody is dealing with a big emotion, especially if it's one that they're having trouble processing, one that keeps coming up, one they don't know how to let go of, I often say, well, tap into your kid part of self, and ask yourself, think about how your kid part of self would process that emotion, right? A little thing happened and you couldn't buy your card was declined and you couldn't buy that cute pair of socks on Amazon, I don't know, and all of a sudden your body wants to have this really big emotion. Your brain wants to be like, throw a fucking tantrum about it. So what do? I say, go find a safe space, warn the people in your space if you need to, and put yourself on the floor. Stomp your feet and fists for a second. Let that emotion be expressed safely in a way that's not going to harm anyone or yourself, and then try to deal with the thing. And then look at the emotion, what's underneath that emotion, because when you let go, it's like pressure. Pressure builds within us. And when we release some of that pressure, then we can hear, it's like it creates a din, creates a cacophony. With that much pressure gets louder and louder and louder and louder within us until we start letting go of that pressure. When we let that pressure go, we start to hear the whispers of our body and our heart and our energy. And we start to go, we find the cause, or we find the root underneath. We find the root underneath that says, I don't know, that was my way of taking care of myself today. That was my way of feeling capable or strong, or whatever the message, is underneath that causes that feeling. So invite a tantrum if you need to, but again, do it safely. And I find that when we allow those things to be expressed like that, like when we allow ourselves to go and like have a mini tantrum and then come back breathing about it and we're less likely to weaponize our emotions. Stan, orange is the fastest cat color. Gosh, big fat Perth. This is Perth. That sun keeps moving behind the trees, you guys. Okay. It is almost 10 o'clock. And I do have friends here for the holidays. You have a female orange cat, Beth? I've heard that females are really rare. I also heard that female black cats are also really rare, but I've got a female black cat. But Calico is very slowing. So I'm going to go make breakfast with my friends. I'm going to go be grateful with my friends for the people in my life who bring light into my life. And yeah, the people in my life who see me for who I am, love and respect who I am. And I want you guys to know how much I love you guys. Thank you so much for sharing space with me. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mel. You too, Gigi. I love you too. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Again, if you want to work directly with me, you can find me at Move with Change. You can also message me here on TikTok. My brain just froze. The wind is getting too brisk. All right, guys. I love you so much. Oh, I will be live again on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We also have a class tomorrow at 10 o'clock called Small Spaces, Small Mobility. And I'm thinking about turning that class into an external class. So we'll see. I might be doing a yoga class, live yoga class tomorrow as well at 10 Pacific time. So I love you guys so much. Have a great day. Remember your mudra. Cultivate that patience so that you can move like tortoise, steady with perseverance, right? Taking care of your temple. I love you guys. Have a great day.